Yo, yo.
Good morning.
Look at this guy busted out the 1998 Buckshire, yeah?
I do have one of those. I think everybody wants to hear you publicly apologize for your derogatory statements towards Tom Brady. I think we all ready for it.
That'll never happen. Listen, I am fully willing to admit that what he has accomplished in his career is nothing short of amazing. I've never denied that. I just simply do not agree with how he's handled himself on and off the field at times, but that is irrelevant. And we lost Jeff. Let me see if I can get him back in here. I think he got kicked out. There he is.
Well, there you go. Welcome back to myself.
Yes. So as I was saying, I fully believe that what Brady's accomplished is nothing short of amazing. I just personally have never really liked the way he's handled himself in certain situations. That's all.
Okay.
But it was an incredible game. And listen, I don't care. Everyone can give Tom Brady credit for this season. If you actually look at his stats, he had a very average year. But I think him alone, just being who he was, inspired the rest of the team. So you could argue that it was still him. But if you really look at the stats he put up, it was a very average year. Defense deserved the MVP for you guys yesterday. They played lights out. Mahomes didn't have a second to throw the ball. The front five of Chiefs were owned all day. And you guys earned that one more so. So I just, is what it is. But
I did my video is off. You got the video off on it. Now think about this for a second. You're right on. I mean, this is one of the things I wanted to just chat before we get into our topic today. Is that was 100% team. It's a little frustrating. Yes, Brady was one hell of a catalyst. He's an amazing talent. He's arguably the best quarterback ever. He's just a great person. Now, his influence on the team, and his energy, and his mindset, and his belief, and his conviction, and his presence totally elevated that team and inspired that team and empowered that team. Now, there's not a bad player in the NFL, guys, right? They're the best of the best across the league. So what makes the difference? It's total coaching. It's total mindset. It's total belief, right? And it's just everybody working together and everybody doing their part, understanding their role, understanding their lane, picking out what they need to go do. I mean, every single person from the center to the guard they all had their game plan executed flawlessly. Like they're your job is to make sure nobody gets past you and if your job is you're the offensive lineman, right? Your job is to make sure nobody gets to Tom Brady, right? And that's your job for that day, for that hour. Your only job is to make sure nobody gets to that guy, right? That's the whole thing. And then to block this way and this way, and of course you have to execute. But the team, the orchestration of everybody doing their job unbelievably well, it was amazing. Amazing.
But it all comes down to belief. It comes down to simply belief. With Winston under center, they didn't believe they could win. Right now, outside of the turnovers that Winston had last year, Brady's numbers weren't all that much better. But what Brady gave them was a simple belief the moment that he signed with the team that, okay, Brady knows how to win, which means we know how to win. And there was this, you could feel it. There was a belief that came over that team. Offensively, even with Winston at quarterback, that team offensively was unreal on paper, right? Their receiving core, just defense was solid. That was a good football team last year. But you put the belief with the history of Tom Brady, and that's it. Right? That's all it took was that shift in their mindset of, okay, yeah, we can win. But that goes to show how powerful our mind really is, because if we have a negative belief that we are not going to do something, you're not going to do it. You're not going to accomplish it. But the second that you can find something that's going to make you believe, give you the confidence and make you believe that you can do it, you will actually work towards it and do it.
But the key there is work towards it. Right. So
yeah, you still got to work, right?
You got to work crazy. Like Brady comes in and he starts 5 a.m. trainings with the team, looking at film Monday mornings, right? That's a belief. That's a discipline. That's wanting it, right? That's the next level. That is, we're going to do everything it takes to win. That's the mindset. And translates beautifully into what we're
what's
talking.
Even crazier is that he doesn't have to, right? And to me, like, that's where we need all of our agents to get to. A lot of you don't have to do this, right? Craig says it all the time. You either have made enough money, you've got a retirement, a spouse, it doesn't matter. Most of you don't have to do this to survive. You could go do something else. There's alternatives. Brady didn't have to come here. Had Brady retired with 6 Super Bowls, now it's 7, but had he retired with 6 Super Bowl rings and his legacy, would he still have gone down as the greatest of all time? Yep. He didn't have to come here, right? But that desire was on a different level. His desire wasn't even to get 7, because if it was to get 7, he would have announced his retirement last night, and he didn't. He loves this game, right? And as much as I am not a Tom Brady fan, I just have a hard time rooting for him. It's probably predicated on him being with the Patriots. But sorry, Patriots fans. But that mindset is what I think is it's so hard to teach and it's so hard to explain, but he's playing a different game than everyone else, which because of that, he's 100% committed to it in his head, which makes him put in the work to actually go do it. There is no alternative, right? Even though there really is an alternative, there just isn't in his mind. And that's a powerful.
It's super powerful. And then when you look at his face, right, there's an unwavering look that you said it, he's playing his own game. He's playing to win. Now, yes, it's a team sport. In his mind, he's already won the Super Bowl. In his mind, he's already won next year's Super Bowl too, right? That's why he signed his 2-year contract to go do this. And it's going to take him another year to build his big ass mansion in Miami, at least. And so he's got time. And so, but his game is to execute on what puts a big ass smile on his face. And it's to see what he can do, right? And to go one more time. That's what it is. And that goes, of course, we eat, sleep, breathe, love real estate. And I couldn't help but draw all the parallels to our business last night. I'm redoing my primary aim, as I know you guys do often too right now, and totally with the basis of one thing: what puts a big ass smile on my face? What is the lifestyle that I'm going to design and fund that's going to put a big ass smile on my face? And I'm going through it very in depth right now, from every aspect of life, and what I'm going to tweak and what I'm going to change and what I'm going to embellish on, what I'm going to alter, what I'm going to do. I don't know how yet. Some of these crazy ass things are crazy ass things. I don't know where I'm going to fund them yet, but I have unwavering belief that I get up every morning and I talk with people and I help people, as many people as I can fit into the day. And I go to bed and I get up and do the next day, and I get up and do it the next day, because I know the game it's everything I'm putting down through, because I've done it repeatedly over and over and over. And so have you guys. So as a commitment back to yourself, it's about, what is your game? What is the internal game we're playing right now? Like, what is, by the end of 2021, what do you sit back at 11:59, kick back somewhere of your choosing with whoever you choose to be with, reflecting back on a year saying, damn, good job, right? And have that big ass smile on your face. That's what it's all about. Nobody else matters, guys. Nobody else cares, and nobody else ultimately matters. It's your game. It's your game. Then that's the fun part about this, is figure out what's going to put a big ass smile on your face for the rest of this quarter. And now we're really working on Q2. So what's going to be fun, and execute. and go to work, right? Get up early, practice your skills, practice your mindset, condition yourself well, and take the repetitions, right? There's no difference, zero difference. It depends on what's your goal, what's the game, what's the outcome. And we just got to tweak a couple things along the way.
What are you going to get committed to? Right? What are you going to get committed to? That is literally it. I was talking to a prospective agent the other day, and they said, so what, if I want to become a top agent in your company, what do I have to do? I said, you got to get committed to something, right? But that something you're only going to get committed to it if it actually means something to you, not what you think you should want, not what you think your spouse wants you to want, not what anyone else thinks that you should want. What do you really want? And that's a tough conversation sometimes to have with yourself, but that's the reality. And the second that you figure that out, you will get committed to it. And the second you get committed to it, you will put in all the work necessary to go get it because it means that much. And until then, you're going to do things half-assed. You're going to take some shortcuts because that's what we do. That's human nature. And that's okay. Right? I think we need to take a step back. That's okay. You're human, right? We're all human. We all do it. But I think that switch will go off the second that you actually really truly discover what is going to make you happy, what do you really want, what are you really going to get committed to, and then it's over, right? Then you're playing a different game.
It's funny. I had an interview. We just hired an agent was at a Angles, and just came over to us, and that was cool. She was a great addition to the team. And one of the things we were talking about was another agent that was over from a different place we're having this conversation with. And she said, same thing. Who's the top agent? How do I become the top agent? I said, don't ever say that again. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, because it's irrelevant. Why the hell do you want to be a top agent in the office? I mean, that's so it doesn't make sense. Why would you have that as a goal? She said, well, I just want to be the best. So let's talk about a big ass smile for a second, because the best is what puts a big ass smile on your face. Who cares if another agent's doing more or less than you? It's completely irrelevant, right? Yes, it's a team sport, but it's really not, right? You're an independent contractor. You have a contract with yourself to fulfill and execute on a lifestyle that you guys want. And you have coaches around you, us, right, that are designed to help you stay motivated, stay empowered, educated, and encouraged to go crush the goals that you set. So screw whatever anybody else's goal is, guys. It does not matter, right? It's your end of Q1. What matters? What puts a big ass smile on your face on Q2? Now, of course, it's great to get the trophies and all that good stuff. It's certainly fun if that's fun for you. If your next level is to create a bunch of income, the trophies are coming, right? Whatever. It's a byproduct of just winning. It's going to be part of what you do. Is you're just going to have a hardware collection, right? The most important thing is the big ass smile that's going to be on your face. But as you walk by the hardware, that's it, right? I still have in my head cars, and my son loves cars. And so talk about how the Piston Cup is really just an empty cup, but it's the journey and it's the fun part of winning along the way and helping people. Don't get me started. I love that movie.
No, I loved it though yesterday because my kids are super into all things sports. So Super Bowl this Sunday, they're super pumped about it. Full disclosure, my oldest was rooting for the Chiefs, but my youngest was rooting for the Bucks. But he was sitting there watching the pregame stuff yesterday, and Brady was on there, and Brady was talking about how he might wear one of his rings once a year. And that really stuck with my 10-year-old. And at first he goes, what? He doesn't wear it? And I said, no, he doesn't wear it. And he said, well, yeah, you don't wear your ring from college either, because I won national championship in college for baseball. And I said, no, I don't. And he goes, why? I said, it wasn't about the ring, right? Like, I like looking at the ring every once in a while. I'll wear it every once in a while, right? But I don't wear it maybe once a year, right? Same type of thing. And it's a reminder of that time, but it was never about the ring. And that really stuck with him. And I was really glad he heard that, because a lot of kids, right, it's all about the trophy. I want the trophy. I want the trophy. I want the trophy. And him realizing, wait a minute, it wasn't about the trophy. He just wanted to win, right? That really stuck with him. So I was glad he heard that. But actually, this is an interesting segue, because one of the questions, I got an email this morning that said, hey, Tampa's won all these championships now. How can I leverage this for my real estate business? So here's the deal, right? Everyone likes a winner, but there are very few people that are going to make a life-altering decision to move somewhere because the Buck in the Super Bowl. Okay, so we need to get that out of our mindset. Okay, now where do I think this plays in? I think it's super important to recognize one thing, because this is like every post ever that you make, but it's especially evident in a post like this. There were a bunch of people yesterday that are likely from the Kansas City, Missouri area that are really pissed off. And then there's a bunch of people from our marketplace that are really happy. And then there's a whole third group that either didn't care because they didn't have a dog in the fight like myself and I just wanted to watch football, or just don't like football, right? So you have these four true segments of people, and we need to recognize that. So when you make a post about like the one I sent out today, the City of Champions, let's just use that as an example. That post is not designed to be like, yeah, you should come live in the city of Tampa Bay because we win Super Bowls. That post is to get other people from the area to engage and or just start having conversations. I am not a Bucks fan. I'm not going to pretend to be a Bucks fan just because they won the Super Bowl. But that doesn't mean that we can't interact like we just did about the game last night and have conversations about sports, which is what? A connection point. So if we actually leverage these championships, leverage the success of the city as a reason just to connect and talk to people and share the positive that's going on in our community, now we're getting somewhere, right? Now that slowly leads us back to real estate at some point. But I think, and this goes along with 99% of the posts that you're going to make from a social perspective, it's all about connection, starting conversations. And that's why the posts that we have are, a lot of them are designed just to do that. It's just something, it's a conversation starter. It's something I know that if you post, people are going to comment on. I made that post about the 4 quarterbacks the other day. I knew I was going to get lit up in my comments because I thought Manning was the best. I did it on purpose. I want them to comment and be like, dude, you're an idiot. Brady's the best. Great. Now, guess what? Now I get to rebuttal and we get to start having a conversation, right? So not only am I leveraging the algorithm, but I'm playing the game of how can I get people to talk in a positive way? I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, Brady sucks and the Bucks are terrible. No. We're going to keep it friendly. We're going to keep it positive, but we're going to connect and we're going to start having conversations. And if you followed what I put in that email that day, when you do that, the best thing you could do is not even just in your comments, but you get someone who comments, click that message button and start having a one-on-one conversation about that topic, because then it can evolve into other things, right? So that's what I would do.
Let's talk about the other byproduct on this thing, because I always think about this. I still remember, I don't forget what Olympics it was, many years ago. And I remember seeing images of the Sydney Harbor, right? You guys can picture the Sydney Harbor with the orchestra house and everything on the backdrop. That's a beautiful city, right? Maybe it's not, but in my mind, it's a majestic, beautiful city I've never been to. And it's something it has a positive impact on my head, and it's on my list of places to go see, right? So Tampa Bay looked like a freaking rock star yesterday. And mid 70s, sunny, beautiful beaches, pirate ships, laser light shows, fireworks, river walks, all kinds of, you don't get a more beautiful location in the city. So what we did was enter again a world-class level arena, right? We are showcased as a cool ass place, right? That's really what we won yesterday. And leveraging work from home, leveraging COVID. How many people, my wife's from Germany, right? I was on the phone talking to them in Germany, and they're like, literally, they can't even get a haircut, a lockdown, right? And they're like mind blown. Yeah, we had 30,000 people partying their asses off, screaming and licking each other and drinking beer and cheering next to each other at a football game, showing parties nonstop left and right. They're like, you guys are either cool as hell or dumb, right? And we're jealous, right? And they want to come. So there was a lot of conversation back and forth, and who knows who's right. We'll find out in probably 10 days if we're all dead or not. But it was an amazing showcase for our city, and I think we all need to be very proud about that. And a lot of people, I guarantee you, when you see the search results come back, that there were a ton of Zillow searches in Tampa Bay real estate yesterday, and will be for the next week on this one. And that's the truth about what happened.
And that's a good point. So actually, the post that I have planned for tomorrow, there's a bunch of criteria that the Super Bowl committees look at when they pick a host city, right? So one of the posts that I'm going to create for you guys tomorrow is actually a post about why Tampa was picked, right? Which I think is a really big deal, because that, to Jeff's point, is going to showcase how much our area and the entire state has to offer, which is why the last 2 Super Bowls have been in the state of Florida, right? So this is a really good place to live. And so I'm going to showcase that tomorrow. So you'll have a piece of content tomorrow along those lines. Now,
that's the best takeaway is right there, guys. And I can't wait to see the post on that one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, another question that I got was, is there a way to personalize the content that I send out so that you guys can put it in your own phone number, email, that kind of stuff? Yeah, there is. So I'm hoping it's going to get even easier. Just as an FYI, it's a little early stage, but Friday I had a conversation. I was reached out to by Canva, and Canva's rolling out a new program, an enterprise. And because we are a big time user of theirs, they would like us to be part of one of the first companies on it, where I will actually be able to create things in Canva, and all of our agents will have access to those templates to be able to personalize, customize the guide, like the for sale by owner guide we could have sitting in there. We can create pieces for you, and you guys literally can go in and edit certain sections. So that's probably coming pretty soon. We're working out some details with them, but that'll be cool. In the meantime, though, you can still do it. So I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly how you would do this. So give me 1 second. All right. So in the meantime, if you wanted to personalize your information, it's pretty easy to do, even with the free version of Canva that you have currently. So I'm going to open up my email, because that's how you guys get the graphic every morning. So let me open this up. Come on, you can do it. Let's see here. If I could get my email to load, that would be awesome. Let's try. Well, Jeff, while this loads, do you have a question? You're on mute.
I'm saying this is kind of riveting delay while we're watching what you're doing with anticipation over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, another question? Why my
I was just kind of watching you kind of tap dance. It was kind of fun. All right. So yeah, the one that I get often, and it's real because I get it, is how do you avoid being annoying, right? And with the context of that is, how do you not annoy your sphere? How do you not overpost and be annoying? Everybody knows I'm an agent. I don't want to become the scented oil salesperson of the industry, trying to seem like I'm a pushy salesperson. That's the biggest issue that I know a lot of us are still facing on this one. And I know we've talked a little bit about it, but let's talk again about how the algorithm promises not to let you be annoying. It's impossible for you to annoy your friends. Will you hit on that one more time, Puma? Because I think it's really important.
Yeah, so it's really hard to annoy somebody. And the reason being is because the algorithm built in such a way that their only purpose, hold on 1 second, just so I can get this going. The only purpose that they have is to keep you on the platform. That is their only mission, is the only way they get ad revenue, is their sole goal is to put stuff in your newsfeed and show you stuff from other people that you said that you care about, so that they can keep you on the platform, show you more ads and more money. That's it, right? So if we understand that, then the last thing that they want to do is overwhelm your feed with the same person and the same type of content over and over and over again that you're not engaging with, right? Because you are going to do what? Close the app and move on.
That's the death of Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. The death of those companies is the moment that you say, I've seen this, I don't want to see it, and you close out the app. That will kill the company. They will not let it happen.
Yep. The moment you stop engaging, stop scrolling is the moment they lose ad revenue, right? So their goal is to keep you scrolling, keep you clicking, keep you engaging as long as humanly possible. And the best way they can do that is to show you stuff that you've actually told them historically that you care about and that you're going to engage in. So if I post 17 times today and they put all 17 in Jeff's and he only clicks on one of them, then that's going to tell them, okay, we can't show all 17 posts of Mike's in Jeff's feed because he's only going to click on one of them. This is literally how smart the algorithm. So guess what? Tomorrow when I post 17 times, guess how many posts Jeff's going to see? 1, maybe 2. And then he's going to maybe engage in something. And if he does, then it's going to learn what type of content, what similarities was there between yesterday's post and today's post that he actually engaged in. Okay, now next time Mike posts something like that, we're going to show it to Jeff. But if it's not about that, then we're not going to show it to Jeff. And this is literally how the algorithm is discerned. And the reason it's doing that is because now when you get your feed, it's going to be very customized to stuff that you are very likely to like, comment, and engage on, which is exactly what they want, versus you sitting there and scrolling through a bunch of BS that you don't care about. So if we understand that, then we can never be nervous about posting 17 times in a day because it's knowing that it's not going to ever overwhelm Jeff. It just isn't. The algorithm's not going to allow it to happen. Now, what does posting 17 times a day do? It gives us 17 opportunities to end up in Jeff's feed, right? Or 17 other people's feed. So that's the game we're playing, right? And so obviously, we don't even post 17 times a day, so I'm exaggerating, but the point of that is the more you post, whether it's once, twice, 3 times, 5 times a day, is good, right? So I would rather see you do that than post once. Because if I only post once, then my chances of ending up in Jeff's feed are so much less than if not, right? And so that's really the goal. That's kind of how the algorithms work. And so that's kind of the point there.
Good. And I know many of us, right? Many of us think about that. I don't want to overwhelm. So those of you who have that thought, please delete that and just put content out. Those who want to see it will engage. Those who don't won't.
So if back to Canva. Work,
okay.
Back to Canva. So how do you personalize content that I'm sending out? This is the easiest way to do it. So you got an email like this from me this morning. Let's just say you're not going to post the Super Bowl champs because you did your own. So you're going to use the other one, right? So all I'm going to do is download that to my computer. There it goes. And then I'm going to go to canva.com. And you're going to log in to your free account. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a paid account to do any of this. So you'll log into your account. If you don't have one, you can sign up for free. You can just use your Gmail if you want. And what you're going to do is we're going to do 2 things first, just to make this easier for you on an ongoing basis. So before we do anything with that post we just downloaded, we are going to create a folder. And so over here on your left, when you log in, you should have a folders option if you've never created one. But if you do, you can click all your folders and you'll have the option, if you've never created one, to create a new folder. And what I would do is I would just call this whatever you want, but like logos or thing to that effect, right? Now, I'm not going to do this because I already have one called logos, but that's all you do, and click create folder. And so what I would do under logos is I would open that folder and we're going to create a logo, right? So you can see I have all of our logos and stuff in here. So now that I have the folder, I'm going to come in and click Create Design. And I'm literally going to search logo. And then you'll see this comes up, 500 by 500, perfect. I'm going to click that. Now, this could be as intricate as you want it to be. Some of you have paid people to design your own logo. Some of you have designed your own. You can come in here if you want to make it fancy. That's cool. For this exercise, we're going to keep it really, really simple. So all I'm going to do under my logo is I'm just going to add my name, email, and phone number. So all I'm going to do is come over here and click text. And then I'm going to click add a heading. Okay, and then I'm literally going to write Puma cell phone 813-731-6171, and then I'm going to do email 21b.com. Okay, so if I want to change this font, I can do that up here. So let's just say I want to make it a little bit more bold. So I'm going to make it black, or I mean, make it horizon, sorry. I'm going to keep it black font for now. If you want to change that, you can do that as well. Make this smaller. And I'm going to make this whole thing horizon. So hold on. There we go. And I'm going to drag this out. There we go. All right, so maybe I want to make it a little bigger, and I'm going to drag it to center it on the page, and literally could keep it as simple as this. Okay, now I'm going to download this, and I'm going to click transparent background, and I'm going to download it. Now I've got my personal information, my logo, whatever you want to call it, created. Okay, now I'm ready to come back to Canva. In my logos folder, I'm going to upload that logo, and it's going to be here forever for me once I do that, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm going to take that logo that I just downloaded to my computer, and I'm going to upload it into Canva. Now it's live in the folder. Okay, now I want to personalize that post that I did this morning, that I got this morning. So I'm going to come create design, and instead of logo, I'm going to use Instagram posts. Now I always create it using Instagram posts. It's just 1080 by 1080, same thing as Facebook, but I just always click Instagram for some reason. So click Instagram post, and it's going to bring up a blank slate. Now this is very simple for me to personalize, because all I have to do when this actually loads is come over here to the up section and click upload media. Doing it from my device. It's going to open up my folders on my computer, and I'm going to upload the design that I saved this morning. Okay, so there's the post that I sent out this morning that I downloaded to my computer, and I'm going to click open. And here it is. I'm going to click on it, and there it goes. Now all I have to do is drag it to the size that I want. Look at that, it fits perfectly. Now I want to personalize it to me though, right? So over here, I've got folders. This is where your logo is going to live. Under logos, here it is. The logo I just created, right? So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to bring it over, and I can resize this down to the size that I want. So if I need to make it smaller for this particular post, if I want to drag it and put it up here, it's there. Now, maybe I don't want it to be black. So I have a couple options. If you understand how colors work, then you can easily click adjust. And if I want to make this white, then I know that I can simply drag here and drag here, and it'll lighten it up. The other option that I have is I can come here and come here, and it will make it gray, right? So I can start to play with the colors. Or back to our original post here where we created the logo, all I have to do is make this different colors. So let's say I want to make it our Vegas Gold. Boom, download that one and upload that one. So that way I have the logo in multiple colors. Okay. So now that I have on there, that's how I would load my personal information onto the post, and then click download. And download. And now I've got that post out of Canva onto my computer with my personal information on there. So that's how we would personalize it. You could do this literally with any post that you get from us if you wanted to. If you have your own logo, again, upload your own logo. But that's how you would do it now. Like I said, we are working on a enterprise solution with Canva that will likely happen very soon. But until it does, that's how I would do it. I've gotten quite a few emails on that. That is the easiest way to do it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Thanks for keep raising the bar, Puma, and coming up with new tools for us. We love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. This is an interesting question. That was a direct one. And I'm going to ask it to you, and then I'll answer it myself. So you can ask it back to me. The question is, what would you do if you had to get business this week? One thing. What would be the one thing you did?
Oh.
Had to.
So advice I would give, or me personally?
You personally. What would you personally do if you had to get a listing this week?
I would message every single person in my Facebook sphere.
Yep.
Me personally. I would go in there
what?
and literally, I would be very casual. So what I would do is go in and really group mine out. So I would have those people that I know kind of topic wise. So I would segment out by different groups that I know I have a connection point with, and I'd be contextual to them on that. And it would start out literally by having just that conversation, connecting, and then going. If you have, I saw someone, Dick Wilson, just put past clients. Yeah, of course. If you've got past clients, that would be the place to go. I personally don't have past clients. So for me, it would be working my sphere, but I have the biggest and most connected sphere of any place that I have it is on Facebook for me personally. So that's where I would go.
How many would you hit today?
As many as I needed to.
Guys, I want you to listen to this, because this is true for every single one of us. And the fluffy, contextual third party, 30,000 foot level. Hey, I'm a realtor. Market's amazing. Let me know. No, this is in your face. Puma, I need your help on Messenger or a text message. This is what I would do all day. I don't even know if I'd sleep. If I had to get a listing by Friday, I would probably be up as long as it took. And I would talk to I would connect with hundreds of people today and tomorrow and the next day. And it would be physically impossible not to have business. Say, Puma, I need your help, dude. We have, you've seen jokes about, Tom Brady's been to more Super Bowls than we have active listings on the MLS, right? Because that's a funny little meme going around right now.
The memes are the best.
It's not a joke, right? It's really not funny. And so we literally, as a company, have a ton of people. I've got a ton of people looking right now. And please, please, please think for me for a second. Who in your world is getting married, getting divorced, having kids, relocating? I need to know who in your world is even hypothetically the closest that you can come up with in your mind that would most likely be the next person to sell their house. And I need you to take 10 seconds and just think for me for a second. Who in your world? Now, actually, I want every one of you to do this for a second. Think for a second. Who in your world is most likely to sell their house next?
My mother-in-law.
Okay, there's your one. I want every one of you to think and type in when you come up with one. Now, I put a huge question out there, And I want you to walk this down. I'm going to walk this down with you for a second. That's a big source. I'm surprised for you to be able to come on and to come up with that answer is great, because there's something going on that she is top of mind thinking about moving. Now, a lot of people would dismiss it, that it's too big of a question. You kind of confuse it. The search query was too big, no results found, right? And say, okay, think about your neighborhood. Like, guys, let's be real for a second. What drives the real estate industry? 3Ds, all right? John Lum coined that. Death, debt, divorce. Okay, death, debt, and divorce. So go backwards. Let's go back for a second. Who in your world do you know is probably going through a divorce or is going through a divorce right now? Every one of you, think about this for a second. Who in the world is going through a divorce right now? Think about it. And you're going to search through. Now your search parameters went from here to here. Do you know anybody? Whom in your world?
I do. My sister's actually going through one.
There you go. Okay, so that is going to require a real estate transaction, most likely, right? At least one, because one of them's leaving, right? Yep. So most likely 3, because they're leaving the primary, buying 2 others, right? So there's a potential of 3 transactions. Who do you know that's pregnant, having babies, right? Every one of you knows somebody, okay? And see what we're doing, guys? We're chunking down. So if you really needed to, really are committed to finding a business this week, the question is right there. And it's to the people that know you, like you, trust you. And it's a contextual question that forces the brain to give you an answer. And that's the point, just driving Puma's point down. This is all you need to do on a weekly basis. And it's not a joke. This is a mission critical in this real estate industry right now, guys, is this. If you do not bring inventory into this industry, all of us are in big trouble in February and March. And this is not a joke. This is like, pay attention. If we don't get inventory, all of us are out of a job.
But I think, real quick, I think the number thing is a good point to drive home, right? Well, how many are you going to make? And I get this a lot, and I see it a lot in the calls that we have, whether it's with our B3 group or whatever else, where that's always a question. How many calls should I make? How many messages should I send? How many posts should I do? Guys, the numbers are relevant, right? When I go in the gym, I don't worry about the number of sets. I go until I'm done, right? I go until I can't go anymore, because I'm not doing it to hit a certain number. I'm not messaging people so I can say I've messaged 100 people today, right? So the 100 is irrelevant. I'm doing it because I need a deal this week. And I know that if I need a deal this week, then I need X number of appointments to get that deal, right? So I'm not doing it to hit a specific number. I'm doing it until I feel like I've gotten enough appointments where I can go qualified appointments to go get my deal. Does that make sense? So I think like some of us get caught on the number, right? Like I used to work out with a guy and he was like, oh, well, I'm going to do 3 sets of 10. Why? What if you could do 15? What if you could do 5 sets? Why are we stopping, right? Just because you said to? Does it feel good? Do you feel done, right? Like that's the problem. I think we come up with these arbitrary confinements around ourselves, but the reality is that's not the goal. The goal isn't to do 3 sets of 10. The goal isn't to make 100 calls. The goal is to get a deal. So that number,
one good solid appointment this week,
right? So at least one appointment, right? So until I get that appointment, now once I get that appointment, could I stop? Sure, right? I no reason to overtax yourself to a point of complete failure, right? No reason to, if you made 1,000 phone calls to get that appointment and you got it, great. But in my head, this is just how I work. What if that appointment cancels? What if they push back a week? What if I don't close it? What if I get sick and can't make it? What if they get COVID? Right? So me personally, I like to double down. I would like to have 2 appointments because then I know I'm likely to one of those to actually happen, right? So it just, that's a personal thing. But I think the point I want to make is stop setting arbitrary settings for yourself. Now, if it works better in your head to break it down and say, okay, I'm going to send 10 messages an hour today, right? Or at least 10 messages an hour to hold yourself accountable to a set thing. Cool. I get that. But don't just stop because you said you were going to send 80 messages and you sent 80. I just think it's setting yourself up to not actually hit your goal.
It turns into how badly do you want the transaction, right? That's the ultimate question, is how badly do you want it? If you're just checking the boxes to say, hey, I was told I should do 100 contacts next week, I did it, shit, I don't have any business, right? That's not a commitment, right? The commitment is, I'm going to find a great listing that will be on the market by Friday, right? And then that is your mission, that I will find a new piece of property to hit the active market by this weekend, right? That's your mission. Then now you're like, there's a real goal. There's a real focus. I know you should be making at least 21 contacts a day, right? If you're not going to really get any business. There's just something to that. You got to have activity, but that doesn't mean, oh, I hit my 21, I can go home. Did you get anything? Nope. Then why the hell did you stop at 21? If you didn't have an appointment today, if you don't have an appointment today, if you don't have a qualified buyer that you've spoken with the lender, they know where they want to move and they have a time frame, or you don't have an appointment with a seller who knows where they want to move, right? Has a time frame to be there, is going to be realistic. Then what are you doing today, right? The whole goal is full throttle. Talk to as many people as you can to say, you know what? My sister-in-law is getting divorced. I talked to them this weekend. They said they're going to start looking for houses. Boom. Give me your number. I will take really good care of her. Have her call me. Right now, that's not my appointment. That's a lead, right? Big difference. Okay. Is that an appointment? She might have her best friend is an agent. Likely, it's very possible. That's not my deal, but I have a lead now. So I'm going to call her. I'm going to reach out with her. I'm going to see what I can do. There might be a ton of emotions, and then this might be 3 months from now by the time the process is over. That's not my appointment this week. That's a great lead, but don't trick yourself into thinking that's appointment. She's not ready yet. Perhaps, maybe she is. I don't know. So you got to keep going until you find a couple leads. I'm going to call these leads until one of them says, God, it's so funny you called. I absolutely have to get out of here. I've got, the baby's due in a month. We've got to get in someplace, our lease is up. We're committed. I've already talked to Rocket Mortgage and here's my pre-approval on my phone and we're ready. Now I've got a lead. I'm going to qualify to see if they're my appointment, right? The appointment is, do you have to move? Well, not really. We're month to month and we could stay here for a while. My mom's right next door and it's comfortable. Well, you're probably not going to buy. So now let's find somebody who absolutely has to sell or has to buy this week, if that's your job, right? That's the appointment. So I see a lot of people that trick themselves into thinking a good lead is an appointment, right? Your buddy who says, hey, we're kind of thinking about selling our house. Why don't you come over and tell me what it's worth? That's not a listing presentation. That's a lead that you're following up with to the point where you're saying, hey, Bob, thanks for having me over. Let me tell you how I run my business. Let me go over, take a look at your house. Let's do this. Where are you moving? What's your time frame? Have you talked to a lender? Where are you moving? What loan program do you have for your next house? All these things coming together, that's lead time, right? Where is your appointment this week? The people that are able and really willing and ready to sign a contract. That's the question. It's Monday morning, winning is in the air, right? This is the time, right? But get committed. Your job this week is to find one solid, committed, kick-ass, motivated seller, hopefully, or buyer, right? They're both going to pay you. That's going to commit and have an appointment that is ready to sign a contract this week. So once we get super clear, now you know what to do. And then, as Puma just said, 100% guaranteed, when you talk to everybody in your sphere this week, you will have a listing and you will have a buyer. You'll probably get 2 transactions from that this week. And then once you have a listing, we can do all kinds of crazy stuff. I've got a newer agent that has a listing coming. Our whole business model right now is built around that new listing that's coming. We're getting ready to do that. We have 24 hours of marketing before it hits the MLS. So she's getting ready for brochures. She's going to go door knocking. She's going to hit everything up in that 24-hour pre-marketing window so she can double side this transaction. So that's when the strategy comes. Right now, where is your new listing coming from? That's the question. Do you have a new listing ready to hit the market this week? If not, that's your goal right now, is to talk to everybody that you know first. Now, once you exhaust your whole sphere and you're like, that didn't work, there's no way that's going to happen. But let's just say it did. Now we have to go talk to people that we don't know. And you know where I would be going. I would just slice the market up through Remine, and I would go to the richer homes that have a higher sell score on the water. Absentee owners is who I would be talking to right now. Once I exhausted my sphere, I would 100% talk to everybody I know And don't say, hey, I'm a realtor. Anybody know anybody? Let me know. That's not what I'm talking about. It says, hey, Puma, pay attention. Talk to me. I need your attention. Give me 3 minutes. Okay. You know people I don't know. I need you to think about something. Who do you know that's thinking about moving right now? Who's selling? Who's getting divorced? Who's having kids? Da, da, da. You get the point, right? But that's the commitment level, guys, of saying this is my job this week.
Yep. That's a good segue actually into a question that I had gotten. Well, first, before I hit that, this is just like a little subtle thing that I started doing. I actually read it in a book a while back. But one thing I help keep myself accountable with is I actually make the passwords to stuff my goal, right? So as an example, let's just say I want 4 appointments this week. I would actually change my unlock to my phone to be for APT. And every single time I unlock my phone, I'm thinking 4 appointments, 4 appointments, 4 appointments. I would change my email. I used to do this all the time for my email and stuff. All my passwords were exactly what my goal was. So I literally would have to type it. Nowadays, you save a lot of your passwords on your computer. So I've shifted to my phone because I have to unlock my phone every time, right? Just a little subtle thing that I used to do. But I'm telling you what, the day you don't do it and you have to sit there and type in, it's a tough day to look in the mirror. So it does hold you accountable. Now, one of the questions, speaking of going down that lane, absentee owners, that kind of thing, one of the questions I did get, actually I got quite a few, was with the new Beggins agents, where certain things were. So I'm going to just share my screen real quick, just to just be very clear about what this is and where things are.
I love
so
this.
You do have to sign in.
Love this. You did a great job on this one. Pay attention, guys. This is amazing.
So you do have to sign in. Your BE email, a lot of you did create your accounts. You'll just click create account, use your @C21BE email. If you do not, it will not let you in. Once you do that, it'll save it for you like mine is here. So you won't have to constantly remember it. Now, once you're in, we basically have broken this down into a few different places versus all the different boxes we had before, right? So we've got our training, our marketing and branding hub, scripts and guides, Beggins Real Estate 101, and our agent tools. And then we've got the shop the gear. And we still have the ability to submit a property to Scott, who's our internal investor client, or listen to the podcast, right? So the big question, I got 2 kind of big things a lot last week when we made this transition. So I just want to go through a couple things. This Beggins Real Estate 101, guys, this is for a lot of the frequently asked questions that we get, the managers get, that you probably have. And we basically categorize these into 2 things. We categorize them into real estate-based questions and then Beggins specific questions. So if I click on any of these are all real questions that I understand that many of you have, right? How do I write a contract? How do I hold an open house? That's obviously for brand new agents. But if I click on any of these, what's going to load is the answer to that question. So how to write a contract. These are 3 videos that you have to watch if you're learning to write a contract, because these are contract classes that were done by our management team. This one by Craig, where he's going step by step through the contract, right? So you got to watch these. So basically, that's what we did with all of these types of questions, and we're going to constantly add more as we get them. But like to Jeff's point, how do I work with absentee owners? That's a question because he talks about it a lot. So I'd click here, and it's actually going to take me to the lane. Now, just to back up real quick, come back to our homepage here. The big question I got was, where do I find specific trainings on specific lanes under our training database? So when you come into the training database, we've got our past daily trainings, which is where this morning session here will live, along with all of our other daily morning huddles, will be right here in this section. This is our new section that Jeff and I are going to be pushing really hard for you to come in and explore. So training by focus. And all you're going to do here is select what lane you're going to focus on. Not all of them, one. So Jeff would love a lot of you to be doing this one right here. How do I work with absentee owners? And when you click on this, it is literally only about absentee owners. So if you're going to work absentee owners, we highly suggest that you come in here, you watch these videos, you follow these scripts, and all I've got to do now is click here. Guess what? Right down here on my screen. Oh, actually, it opened it up. That's fine too, because then I can download this. So it's going to actually open up. Refresh here. It's going to actually open up the only script in here is our our absentee owner script. Now all I have to do is download this, and now I've got it on my computer. I can print it, I can keep it here and read it, whatever your preference is. Okay, so that script though is in here. I'm not actually going to download it because I already have it. So I'm going to go back, but you could download that script right there, but it's only the absentee owner script. Then we've got marketing material and graphics already created for you that if you want to now go promote to absentee owners, all I have to do is click here, save image, and go use this on my social networks to go attract absentee owners. So how do I communicate to them? And we're going to be adding more here. Okay. And then these are just some additional videos that may help you. So how do I connect more effectively? The full listing presentation that Jeff did and some more contract training. But that's it. And we've done this for every lane, guys, for sell by owners, buyers, listings, home partners, you name it. If there is a lane that is specific niche that you want to focus, we've drilled it down to say, hey, these are the 3 things you have to do in order to go work that niche. Just trying to simplify this business as much as humanly possible. But for those of you that are new to us or new to real estate, come in here to Beggins Real Estate 101. Your most common questions are going to be in here. Okay, so come watch that. Marketing and branding hub for all of you. Your logos are in here. So our brokers' logos are all here for you to save. And then we've got our daily marketing guide, all of our content, the branded social content we've got in here. So you can actually just click on this and go use that content. So I hope this helps, but that's what this new version is. So I know it's a little different. You may not be able to find everything, and that's kind of some of the questions I was getting. So I just went through that real fast.
I highly suggest you guys open your calendar, carve out 30 minutes, and BegginsAgents.com. Just get in there and poke around, guys. There's some amazing stuff, and every one of us has our next level. Every one of us needs to get some more inventory, and the lanes and it's right there, right? Exactly what you want is right there. Puma, amazing job putting that together. Truly,
thank you, sir.
Did a great job on that. And guys, I hope you guys appreciate this and be able to do this. And it's password protected. This is only for us, right? This is the Beggins tribe thing. And so get in there, dig in there, and do it. So a couple questions as we wrap up here.
So John said, what is the best site if a person is thinking about becoming an agent? Yes, John, and actually the guy you referred over to me, which thank you for doing that. He signed over the weekend with us. So I appreciate that. And actually we'll have a bonus as he gets productive coming your way. But he's signed with Thomas and the Brandon office. So I appreciate you sending him over though. So yes, if you guys have a person you are interested in joining our team like John did, you could send them. So if they live in our current marketplace, so if they live in Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, or Sarasota County, you're going to want to send them to join c21beggins.com, which is our recruiting site for that. And if they live anywhere else in the state of Florida, you'd want to send them to join C21BE3, which is our virtual model for outside of those counties. So that's the 2 places, or just send them to me.
Send them to Puma.
That's the easiest thing. Just shoot me an email with their contact information or give them my contact, whatever you want. And just send them to me, and I'm happy to talk to them and direct them wherever they're the best fit.
And as a reminder, guys, we have agents all the way over in West Palm Beach now, from West Palm Beach all throughout Orlando and Lakeland, all the way over to Tampa Bay. So our footprint is expanding and growing, which is more opportunities for you guys to A, help us grow the team, and B, be able to send some great referrals across the state. So
correct.
Love it.
Any
Tampa
other
Bay, baby.
Any other questions before we sign off? I know we're a minute over, but any other questions we can answer live for you guys? Happy to do that. If not, then you feel free to email either of us directly and we can happily answer there.
Cool.
Going once, going twice, sold.
Have a great day, guys.
All right.
Get a listing.
All
Get
right.
a listing by Friday.
Go get them.
Bye.
We're here for you if you need it.